This just dropped. Did you hear it?
No, it actually like, oh fuck. Sodas are owed.
Shit.
Sodas are
What just happened?
I sat down and shook.
Oh damn.
It's alright. We'll stop the show.
That would be a good intro.
Wipe off the VMI.
Honestly, accidents are the best moments. Like, truly.
Well, not like too big of
Oh
accidents.
yeah, but like just like, you know, little hiccups are fun.
Like you don't want a child, you know?
Yeah.
You want the accidents are nice. Hey, pause that music so we don't get copyrighted.
I had to get pumped.
All right, welcome back to Sodas Are Owed, our beautiful podcast, a very special epi, a little special epi with two great friends. We got Brendan O'Leary here, and on his right, Zach Satars. So I feel like you guys have seen their faces a lot on my videos. Brendan has been now, I don't know, because I don't know when I'm posting all these. He's been a lot. Zach's been in very, very much.
I've been in the trench with you.
So you guys are probably wondering, like, as I make these new skits or whatever, comedy sketches, short films, like we're doing now, like who the fuck, who are these people? You know, where did he meet them? Are they on his hockey team? And no, they're not. No,
I don't play hockey.
Yeah, you did though.
I did. Back in the day.
Yeah, that's the beauty. We all came from a hockey background of some sort, and that is how we met. Which we have hockey to thank for that. First, Zach, because I showed you first out there in these. So I have never actually been like, hey, this is Zach Satars. I always tag you and stuff. But do tell.
I'm born and raised Andover, Minnesota. You know.
Got to bring out the accent.
Yeah, I live in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You know, I do
big.
know actually. I know.
You got your big.
No, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's where I grew up. I played some puck there.
You were a high school edge, right?
I did some decent skating around in high school. Then I met Pat on a set of a feature film. It was a hockey film. Brendan.
So yeah, let's say that first. We all did meet on a movie set, The Way of the Warriors, which is a hockey film about a high school hockey team where Brendan here plays the big guy.
The coach's son.
He's the coach's son. He's the
main captain of the team.
Yeah, he's the shit. He's the shit.
Nah, I wouldn't go there.
So we all kind of had our own way of like, which we'll get to, of like getting there, but that is how we all met. Hockey backgrounds, and they wanted the director's big thing was like, I'd rather teach a hockey player how to act than an actor how to play hockey, which is fair.
Yeah,
it's a fair point. It's probably easier if you will, but
not easy to get on skates for the first time.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so Brendan was the lead. I don't want to say like lead player of the team, like acting wise, and like he was the captain of the team. Me and Moose were more of like the side guys. I was your bestie.
He's like my right hand.
I was
my
your
right
bestie.
hand. Yeah, he's the bestie.
I was supposed to just shit on you whenever possible and steal your girlfriend.
He's always hitting on my girlfriend.
That's a funny story.
That's a really funny story. We'll get there.
So that is our background. That's how we met. Zach, obviously, you were just saying your hockey background. You can tell a little more about your hockey background now.
I played growing up. I wasn't cream of the crop, but I did okay.
He's being modest. He was great.
Everywhere else,
AAA player.
Everywhere else is like, yeah, me, McDavid, and Eichel.
Yeah. 20 minutes ago, he was talking about how great he was. He was like the number 2 on the team.
I mean,
you dabbled. Minnesota high school hockey it's a good state for hockey for sure. I mean, it's not the best state. Like obviously Massachusetts is better, but Minnesota's a good.
No, I mean, let's have that debate right now and get it over with. That my summer league team growing up would have beat yours.
That isn't true.
No, I talked with my buddy Jay Cass, who played with you, Maine Mariners, this year, and he agreed that.
Did he?
Marcel Godbout, Ryan Norman, those.
Remind me.
Yeah, those guys.
No, like who?
It's kind of awkward.
Who's your friend? I don't remember him. How long was he on the team?
About 4 days. Then he
You know how it is. They come and go like the towels in the showers. But no, he sounds like a good guy. No, I do know him, JP. He was there for a couple of weeks.
I mean, I'm not a hockey.
He's a good bloke. He's a good bloke. He is for sure.
No, but like our summer teams would have competed. They would have combated, and we would have came probably on top. But it was in our younger days, and then some of your players developed into NHL players. Some of mine went D1-ish.
Yeah. Now, Brendan, you did come from a hockey background as well.
I did. I grew up playing hockey at like age of 3 or 4, and it's pretty solid when I was little. But slowly over time, I was kind of losing interest, and I decided to pursue acting. And that's how I landed on Way of the Warriors, which is folks.
Now you went to UMD. No, sorry.
Sorry, University of Minnesota. The U.
Sorry, the U.
Golden
I didn't mean to
Gophers.
say D.
Gold.
I know you don't like. You don't want the D.
No, don't
Leave the D out of this.
Leave the D out.
The U, which is a big deal in
The
Minnesota.
U. And I think that actually had something to do with me getting the role in the film, was that connection between Minnesota, because John, the director, actually went to the U. And a lot of the
I didn't even know that.
and a lot of the players that appear in the film, like the like from the 1980 Olympic team,
Right.
They all went to the U, and so
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, touching back on that, my role in the film that we were in, I felt like kind of the OC.
You were the
Jack
bitch.
O'Callaghan.
You were the bitch of the film.
Well,
Moose was the bitch.
Yeah, should we like give like character descriptions?
Yeah.
I felt like I was OC. I was like the big fighter, defenseman fighter.
That's kind of fair. That's
No, seriously, there.
You were the Moose of the team.
There was a scene where I cross-checked someone into our bench.
the Mosi.
Yeah, do you not remember? Clearly, you don't.
You were kind of like the enforcer on the ice.
Yeah,
I was
OC.
He was my goon. So we were defensive partners. And I was kind of like the like the Nicholas Lidstrom, where he is like like the Bob Probert. Like
Call it that. Call it OC. Call it.
or OC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, which was a fun. Like obviously you were the main guy. Brooksy was kind of like Captain Hardo.
Kind of like it's kind of like, I was like
He had a stick up his ass.
I was like this. I was like the studious, like trying, like
cared.
everything. I cared so much, and like I had no room for like girls and having fun. I was just like,
Well, you had a
focused and
girlfriend.
I did have a girlfriend.
That was his first kiss, though. When he was 20.
Hey, that's not true. We don't know that was Brooks' first kiss. We have no idea. Okay.
Is it actually?
I don't know. You mean Brooks?
I mean, you. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Probably.
23 years old.
Nah,
Yeah,
I mean,
first
we're
time.
all late.
First time. It was really awkward.
Late bloomers, you know. Who it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, he was just Brooks is in the film is just like completely dedicated in getting to Harvard, and then, like his dad is the coach, and it's Minnesota hockey too, which is like I'm from Detroit, and I didn't know too much about the Minnesota hockey team, and it's like Texas football intense. It's crazy.
Oh, it is.
And so
Super cool.
and so just knowing that, it really made me understand that kind of drive of like trying to be the best. And so that's Brooksy.
It was cool that we stopped at your place in Detroit, and what do you live on? 13 Mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Slim.
I watched 8 Mile growing up a lot, and it's
thought
not
it
too
was
far. It's not too far, but it's
so crazy that I live on 13 Mile and like.
well, it's like 20 minutes away, but it's not.
You can rap. You can rap. He can rap.
Ah, he raps.
I cannot rap.
You can rap. We rap, Zach.
Oh, me and you did.
We know how to rap.
We rap. We rap.
They don't.
You can dabble.
You can show me right
now.
now.
Rap.
You want to show us?
Yeah, we could. I'll play the song right now.
Actually, he can rap. I actually did hear recordings.
That's right.
He's actually pretty good. I don't know about Moose, but
Well, I mean, I have a hook.
I just haven't heard you before.
I've been paranoid and smoking, so high I've been floating. I've been going down, 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 down.
She going down with it, she kinda psyching with it. In front of sound of it, she kinda choking on it. So I take it to the back, baby girl, let's just relax. It all happened so fast that I can think I'm kinda paranoid. Tripping and the glasses going clink, clink. Wait, I took a couple pills, my eyes are going blink, blink.
Down Las Vegas Boulevard.
The movie. So more so because I'm gonna probably title this like we were casted in a hockey movie. The movie was hopefully it will be finished, but unfortunately it was during the COVID
pandemic.
Yeah.
No, a 19
It got us.
scenario.
It got sadly like hit our
19
set, so we were filming in.
We were like a quarter of the way through filming.
Yeah.
We had done so
maybe
much
even
work
half.
on it.
I wouldn't like maybe even half.
I wouldn't say half. We
Maybe
got
half of yours.
No, because if you also take the hockey scenes into
yeah, we
account, we
didn't
didn't
film
do
the
any
hockey
hockey
scenes
scenes yet. And I think we may have gotten through like a third of like the non-hockey scenes. When you put that together, I think we got like a quarter of the movie.
Pat and I shot a really cool like walking in scene together,
At the school.
and then
The movie
Miss
did
you.
unfortunately get postponed because of the circumstances, the cove. So we were filming. It was November and December of 2020, which was prime time.
It was the worst time to shoot a movie.
Yeah,
like,
but it was also the best time because, like, for me, right? Like, I was trying to go pro. I was about to go pro, but I was on pause because of it. I'm like, oh, like I'm gonna audition for this movie. Like, one of my subscribers actually was just like, hey, I saw in one of your videos you want to like pursue acting eventually. You should audition for this movie. And he like sent me the thing, and I auditioned, and I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, I should. But like, I never thought anything of it. Got the part. Because like he saw like my YouTube where I'm like, I put more of like the comedic side of me on YouTube with like hockey or whatever. So I ended up being Mick, who was your like kind of like dick of a friend.
like my number 2, but he's also like bullying me all the time.
Yeah, I was kind of like your dick.
And let's just go to that scene in the diner. Let's go through. That's a good example of like our relationship in the movie. But what's funny is, so we're in this diner, and I'm with Jessica Belkin, who plays my girlfriend, and we're supposed to be like having this team dinner, and we're all having fun or whatever. And Pat keeps like tapping on Jessica's shoulder, like saying, "What's up?" Like trying to like steal her from me. And I thought it was just Pat trying to like upstage me. Little did I know that John told him to do that. So I was kind of like, I kind of had beef with Pat for a second, thinking like, "What the hell are you doing, man?"
So
You got to outline John.
well, so John's the director. If we say John is the director,
yeah, John's the director.
So when we were like prepping for this movie, because I was like obviously super pumped, as we all were, to get the part. And I'm like, holy shit, like, yeah. He's like, yeah, he's like, you're super like creative on YouTube. I want you to do that, like, just be like his kind of like comic relief, like kind of like you're an ass of a friend, like. So I was like, hey, he's like, feel free to like give your ideas. So when he sent that email to everyone in the Zoom, was like, hey, give your ideas. One of my ideas is like, hey, I think it'd be kind of funny if I acted like Emma is the character Jess plays. Jess Belkin, she's an actress and also is on TikTok, pretty popular on TikTok. But so she plays your girlfriend in the film so I was like, it'd be kind of funny if like my character Mick was kind of
always hitting on her.
Yeah, he was like, I was like, yeah, if he's like flirting, but like kind of like sarcastically, where it's like obviously she likes Brooks, but like I pretend I tell Brooks how she likes me. I'm like, oh, do you see how she was looking at me, Brooks? Like,
just being a terrible friend.
And where she was clearly just flirting with you, I'm like, damn, do you see her like checking me out?
But I had no idea that was like a choice that you and John, the director, had made. So I thought that in that scene you were just trying to upstage me, because every time I'd be trying to talk to Emma, played by Jess, like there would be Pat playing Mick, just tapping her on the shoulder and being like, "What's up, girl?"
Well, yeah,
like,
the scene was.
What the hell are you doing?
The scene was in a diner, I guess, but it was like at night, which was So I guess it was like a post game meal.
Yeah.
And we were hanging, and so before the scene, because John loved the idea, the director.
I don't even know why.
He thought it was hilarious. He's like, "Yeah, that's a funny concept." But he went a step further. So like, he sets up the scene, and me and Jess were sitting there listening to him, and he was like,
Jess knew too?
Yes, she knew. So he was like, hey, so you were kind of like talking or something. I kind of forget, but he was like, yeah, so this is the scene, like, but there's no words in the scene. He's like, so Brooks, you're going to be sitting here. You got, arm around Emma. Like, you guys are really into each other. The parents are watching.
Yeah, we're like literally like talking like this, like all cuddling up and stuff. So and like there's Pat over there.
I was
like,
sitting the seat
like,
over my face.
Yeah, exactly. Like swooping in.
He goes, Mickey, you're sitting here. Or it wasn't Mickey. That's what we called me.
Yeah.
It was Mick. He's like, you're sitting here and you're trying to steal Brooks' girl. So you're just talking to her. You're trying to get her attention away from Brooks. So I was like, sure. Like, this is like my first scene where I actually did any action, even though I wasn't speaking. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. You probably didn't hear it.
No,
so
like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, so it's funny, like, you do a movie, you don't, like, if you watch a movie, you don't really realize, like, even a small scene like that, because they were talking outside, they had to get their lines right.
Yeah.
So we're doing so many different takes.
We did like 8 takes.
Yeah, inside where we're not speaking but reacting, and then so I kept turning, and like you can't hear me, so I was just saying random bullshit to Jess or Emma at the time, and you kept like giving me like dirty looks.
Like I was like trying to tell him with my eyes, like, dude, again, what the hell are you doing?
At one point, you put your arm, and you were like, every time, huh? And I was like, no, he's just in character.
No, but that was me, like, Brendan being like, what the fuck
every time,
doing,
huh? I'm like, oh, he's in character. And then after you said it in like a very nice way, I was like, Brendan, he told me to do that. I'm like, you were laughing. We were like off. We were like kind of like on the break. Then you're like, I just have to laugh now. I'm like, Brandon, he told me to do that.
Yeah, well, I also had this like I had a bit in my head that I was going to do, and every time I'd be about to do it, trying to talk to Jess, she'd be turning the other way, looking at Pat, and like, there goes my bit. Like,
she wanted me.
Well, I guess she clearly, she kept looking at you.
No, it was so funny because I didn't even realize. I'm like, oh, he's just like playing the role, like, oh, every time, like. And like, no, you were like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
And I don't know how it came up. I think like after I was kind of like, what the hell are you doing? And you're like, what?
Yeah,
I was just doing what John told me.
It was at the cabin after.
Yeah.
Where
I wasn't like actually mad at him. It was kind of, it was.
Yeah, you were mad.
No. It was like beef or anything.
Probably in the moment you were like, come on, Pat.
Yeah, I was kind of like, dude, what the hell are you doing? But it wasn't like mad. Like, we were already like good friends at that point.
Yeah.
It was kind of, so I was kind of like, hey, what were you doing right there?
you were like, what? And so I went up to Jess. Like, you knew that, right? I feel like an idiot right now. She's like, yeah, I remember. I was like, okay.
She didn't tell me.
Good. So that was a funny moment.
That was fun.
But yeah, so we filmed probably a quarter, 25% of it. Got broken. We're hoping still that it comes back. Obviously, it's been a good like year and a half.
When it shut down at the end of 2020, it was supposed to shoot the next winter because it's a hockey movie, so it's got to shoot in the winter because we need the snow scenes outside during Christmas, and also like the ice arenas are open only in the winter usually.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to shoot the next winter, and Omicron happened, so I guess it got delayed again. So it's supposed to shoot this winter, but we'll see.
But apparently this shit happens in the movie industry, which we were all new to.
All the like big acting vets in the film were kind of like, oh, this happens all the time, and we were like, what?
There were some cool people there.
Yeah.
Jack Kessie, Julie Jones.
Jack Kessie, if you look him up on IMDb, you'll see he's in like a lot of movies, which is super cool. You got to work one-on-one. We met him very, very briefly.
Oh,
you got to work.
We had some intense moments.
You got to work very closely with him, which is super cool.
Yeah. And Julia Jones, rock star, played my mom.
Julia Jones, obviously, if you like Twilight, you know who Julia Jones is.
Dexter, New Blood.
Yeah, so there was a lot of cool people there. Even you met someone super cool. the old buck on the set.
I met Burt Young, who is like he plays Paulie in the Rocky movies.
Yo, Rocky, famous.
I honestly think that also another connection that I made with John the director, which I think made him like me for Brooks, was that I was obsessed with Rocky because he was obsessed with Rocky. So we kind of bonded over that in one of the interviews we had.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it was like meeting one of my heroes. I mean, like I loved Paulie growing up.
Dude, he's
like,
a classic.
Oh, it's classic. And he was like,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's Rocky's dog's name?
Butt kiss.
Oh, he knows. Rocky.
Dude, ask me anything. Rocky 1 through 6.
Even know Adrian.
Adrian, I did it.
Dude, but honestly,
I really do.
honestly, there were like moments where he was name dropping some like big potential people to be in the movie, and I was like, that's cool. But then he said Paulie. I was like, dude, no way. Paulie.
That was Paulie. I think that was the most excited that I was to see like the cast sheet. I mean, cool, like like Julia Jones, Jack, big stars. To see that name pop up on there was like,
it was
wow. That's someone I looked up to since I was 6 years old. Like that was someone that was like, even though Paulie was a drunken Rocky, but he was acting. Obviously,
awesome, dude. Yeah. Paulie's the best. And also, I wasn't even. I didn't have any scenes with him, and so when he was called to shoot, I wasn't called to set those days. But I text John, be like, hey man, I gotta see him work. So like he let me come on the set, and I got to take a picture with him, and it was like a dream come true. Like,
I think out of the one person Matt I didn't meet was Paulie.
Yeah,
Burt Young.
It was awesome. It was
We
awesome.
walked
He was still
by
with it. And,
we walked by Kess that one day. He's like, what's up, boys? He had no idea who we were.
Well, because we would have to take the C word tests every 2 or 3 days. And it was always where we were staying on this YMCA camp. So we should talk about that too. So John, the director, he kind of wanted the team to feel like an actual team. So we were staying at Camp Warren and literally bunking together as an actual high school team would. And it really did help. I mean, that's how we all bonded.
And we got super tight, honestly.
Yeah.
Like there was like we had some fun moments, like just with the group having a good time.
All right.
We were in the camp, like Brendan at the time, you were filming like most days.
Yeah.
Because your scenes with like your family scenes, those were all first. We were about to start filming the high school scenes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to. We did get to shoot a party scene and a walk-in scene.
I was partying in that scene.
The party scene was so fun.
It was fun.
Because it was the first time you guys were all there. It was awesome.
And you were working most days where we were rehearsing our on ice scenes because there was going to be a lot of like cool, actually some cool.
Oh my
shots.
god, it was the coolest on ice scenes you'll ever see.
Yeah,
it was crazy. They were kind of shot from the vantage point of the ice and the puck, so you were kind of like looking up at the players. It was sick.
Nelly, Chris Nelson was in charge of the. What do you call it? Like he was the choreography.
It's choreography of the hockey scenes, and he did the choreography for Miracle.
Yes,
which is the Disney classic.
Which obviously everyone watching this has seen Miracle.
Yeah, it's the best.
And some cool, funny stuff. We got to screen that movie with Nelly, and he was kind of like running us through the whole process. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, this camera shot, that was a $225,000 shot." Disney said.
Yeah, Disney is.
Disney said, "No budget."
He was a D1 hockey player. Actually, he played at Wisconsin. Played pro after
the IF.
Well, you guys were with him like every day.
Yeah, you were kind of like on your set.
Which you guys were super tight.
So let's talk about the rehearsing, which was super fun. We would hang at the cabin all day. We would eat dinner. We'd have a blast. Whatever. You would come back from filming. You'd join us. We'd have fun. Everyone's bonding.
Yeah. I would come back and vent over what was.
Yeah.
I screwed up that scene, man.
Yeah, it was your first.
Great. It was great having a bunch of boys to come.
Yeah,
back
actually, let's talk about that right now. So this was your first acting, like in a movie experience.
Yeah.
You went to school for acting, so it's obviously a passion of yours, your dream of yours. This is your first experience doing it on a movie. So what was that like?
It was crazy. So I went to a classical theater training program. It's called the University of Minnesota Guthrie Theater BF Actor Training Program, and we mainly did stuff like Shakespeare's. We didn't get to do a lot of camera work. So like being in front of the camera was a little awkward for me. But I just like studied a ton beforehand and like just learned the part like the back of my hand. And just getting on set, I think working with everyone, just they made it so easy. So that it didn't really, it wasn't hard work because like, also the guy who plays my brother, Luke, he was obviously part of the team and Luke Pfluger, great actor, great guy. Yeah, plays Tate, my little brother. And we really became like brothers, like in all the good ways and all the bad ways. We like loved and hated each other. So like we didn't really have to act a whole lot. Yeah. And so, it was a little intimidating, but it wasn't, it was a dream come true, honestly. It was so fun. I mean, like I had gotten I've just been auditioning like right out of school, and I booked this huge role, so it was just freaking awesome. I just dove in. Yeah.
I feel like it was like that for all of us. Like obviously you were studying acting, and you're like the most official actor of the three of us sitting here. But it's like I was doing YouTube stuff, and I was playing hockey. Like obviously you guys on my YouTube know I was a D1 hockey player making college hockey videos, and I was just super like wanted to do acting, and I did one audition in my life and I got a part and I was like, holy fuck, this is sick.
Yeah,
like it was.
And one of the producers in the movie showed me his audition, and as soon as I saw it, I started hitting him up on Instagram. Do you remember that? Or like, dude, you're my Mick. And then and then he knew that I was Brooks. Like, are you Brooks? And I'm like, yeah.
Dude, you know what? Yeah, I remember the moment. I was so pumped about this movie, dude. I was super excited because
Why did you think I was Brooks,
dude? So listen, so I got the role. Like I had the call back or whatever, and we chatted, and John was like, blah blah blah. You're gonna be Mick, like I'm gonna actually like up your role where you're like, you know, like the comic relief of Brooks, etc. Like I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome.
The writing was so funny for him.
I was pumped. I'm like, this is sick. And he's like, I'm gonna allow you to kind of like, you know, create your own like spin on it too, because like I see what you're like doing on YouTube, like blah blah blah, which was cool to hear. Like even if it was true or not, it's just cool to hear. He's like, oh, he like kind of believes in me. That's sick. Like that's good.
Yeah.
So I was just pumped up, and I'm like, I only told a few people about it, like my closest friends probably. And one of my friends, Ed Trailmax, obviously the YouTube knows him. So I was visiting him up in Maine, and I was actually just like buzzing at the moment at the local bar in Orono at OHOP. So I'm sitting there just like having a couple casuals, hanging out. And I got a follow, from Brendan O'Leary at the time. What was your Instagram? It was different.
It was like Brendy Boy 90s.
Yeah, super lame.
Super lame. Super lame. Shout out to Jessica Belkin for making me change it.
So I see it pop up, and I'm like, oh, this guy's clearly an actor. Like he's clearly an actor. It didn't even say actor in your bio.
So weird.
But you had like your headshots and stuff. And
I was that guy. I'm still that guy. Like post my actor headshots.
Yeah, but you do. Like
I think I deleted them because I thought it looked kind of like.
Yeah, but you do that. Like I used to work out with Gianni Paola, who is in the show Ghost, Power Book Ghost. So I've seen his Instagram and he like posted his headshots. Yeah. Now he's like buzzing up as an actor. I was like, it's the acting norm. Yeah. But I saw you, I was like, oh, he's definitely an actor. But I'm like, why would an actor be following me, right? So I'm like, this has to be Brooks. In my head, I said, this has to be Brooks. Later in the day, when I was just like chilling at Oho, you DM me, I was pumped. I'm like, this is Brooks. I'm like, this is sick. Awesome. Yes, we were supposed to be like boys in the movie, which.
Good, so maybe we were like trying to force being boys off screen.
Yeah, we're DMing, we're like, dude, I love you.
Yeah, literally like in character, like, you're my boy, man. I don't even know you, but like, you're my boy.
Dude, I love you so much.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so fun.
It was fun like that.
What do you want to talk about our first interaction?
We should. Yeah, so that was ours, and then like
it was different.
we had honestly we exchanged good like DMs and we met and it was all good, and obviously we're boys now. Like you're sitting in my house, we've made many videos together, which works out great. If the movie happens, it's very natural. Even better so now because we're actually friends.
Yeah, no, it's gonna like John Montague, get this movie made, please, because the dynamic will be so awesome.
Beforehand, it was like we were meeting, and we were gonna be friends, but like we weren't yet.
Yeah, now it's gonna be so much more natural and like just
No, Zach.
Yeah, I don't know the story. What are you talking about?
So Zach,
you DM first. Let's say that.
Yeah,
you guys DM too.
So you inspired me to like
reach out the whole cast.
Not the whole cast, but I found a few.
I DM'd Izzy. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you?
What's up, Izzy? Shouts out to my boy Izzy.
Nolan, what's up?
Zach is one of the guys. I think I followed him.
I hit the follow back.
Yeah, so
the check mark.
And then he saw a couple of my videos, and
well, he was also verified in his Instagram, so it's hard to like not follow him back. He was like got like big YouTube following.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he was kind of like a mini hockey.
You get drafted in the NHL.
Yeah, so like
you get a check mark, which is kind of bullshit. I think if you get drafted, you get a checky. Like, I mean, whatever. Anyway, let's jump into it. Pat and I was at the gym.
I followed you?
One day. No, you might have followed, but when you DM'd me for the first time.
Did I DM you?
You did.
You added me on Snapchat?
No. You DM'd me.
Who created the Snap group? Dane.
Oh, it might have been
Dane.
You messaged me first. That's all I know.
It was definitely.
And then it was just
Dane didn't make the Snap. It wasn't Dane.
Whoever it was.
Who was it?
We all added each other in Snap.
Was it like Gabi or something?
Maybe or G-Son. It was G-Son.
G-Son. It was definitely G-Son. Obviously.
G-Son
does. Popping on TikTok. Check him out.
Love you, G-Son.
He made it. So then we started chatting on Snapchat. That was our first chat.
Yeah, Pat messaged me and I was at the gym. I was lifting heavy.
Lifting heavy.
How
heavy,
weights?
Not as heavy as you lift, clearly.
I was lifting heavy. I was mid-bench set. I got a DM from Pat or Snapchat.
Our first interaction was, I don't know, it was something about the movie, and then I was like, "You take SARMs?"
Yeah. He goes, yo, I don't know. He goes,
what does that even mean?
He goes, I just ordered SARMs. So SARMs is like it's obviously an NCAA violation. It's like, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. Like, helps you lose weight or get lean with.
Let me detail that.
He knows.
I saw like some Hollywood influencers that I know taking them, and I was like, oh, I just got casted in a movie. I better hop on those. So I messaged Pat back after he messaged me. I said, you know SARMs? And he's like, no.
Well, he goes, I don't know, like what the D1 life is like. You boys like taking SARMs? I was like laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? Like, I was like, first of all, no, I'm not on that. Like, I don't.
But
know.
you hit him up initially, right?
Yeah, but then I made it weird.
I think I just said hi. I was just like, hey, like I see you in the movie. That's sick. Like, I'm pumped to meet you guys. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Casual. And then he's just immediately like, yo, you taking SARMs? I was like, no. I'm like, what's this guy's deal? I'm like, check his DM. I'm like, what? I'm like, he's on Instagram. I'm like, what's this guy's problem?
To bring it full circle, like me and Pat met each other on set the first day, and we were like, what kind of alpha?
Do you know what happened? So we did start talking, and you checked on my Instagram after like we exchanged follows, and there's the video, the press conference video I did.
Chopper.
Yeah, where I said like I was like out of the night. I was like, oh, that
Put
wasn't
that in.
me. I was like, oh,
Put
it's the
that in.
patty chopper. I'll
Put
just
that
show
in.
it. Yeah.
There were some photos leaked of you, Patrick, at the club on E Street at about 4:30 a.m. last night.
What kind of club?
A strip club.
Oh, that was a sick.
Is that us?
Are you sure? Never heard of it. No.
I don't think that was us.
Eyewitness reports in the bar claim that there was an Edwards trail box and a Patrick Shea, shirts off and all. End quote.
You look really good though without the shirt.
Sexy body.
In fact, actually, at one point, Pat was naked, whipping around his private part in a circular motion.
That motion, that's called the helicopter. What I like to call it is the patty chopper.
It
But
doesn't.
yeah,
It doesn't sound like
I don't
him.
think
He
that
would
was
never
us,
do. No, it
for
was,
real.
It was definitely not him.
You guys posted these on your social media handles.
Tell me what you, whoa, 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 tell me all about you. I heard you like it nasty. I'll fuck you in the bathroom. You tell me what you think when I'm pulling on your headband.
Yeah, nah, that wasn't us. Although those guys do look nice.
Those guys.
So you kept going. You're like, oh, that's a funny video. You're like calling me.
I
the
showed it to my
chopper.
mom and shit, and she was
Yeah.
geeking.
And so we talked about that in the DM or over Snap, and then you were like telling me like, yep, like I was Central Scouting.
Right under
I was
McDavid.
Central Scouting. I was committed. Blah blah blah. All these things about hockey. I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck's this guy's problem? What, I didn't ask.
Yeah, I don't know why you're telling me this.
So
Bottom line, we thought we were gonna hate each other.
yeah, no, exactly.
But you guys were inseparable. You guys were the life of the party,
Yeah,
and you
we
were
were.
like the dynamic duo on set. Like truly.
Because he's telling me all this shit about like hockey. I'm like, dude, fuck you. I'm looking up his elite prospects. I'm like, this guy doesn't play hockey. I'm like, this guy's a dick. And I was so like, I was telling my
Ready
dad,
to
I'm like,
hate this guy.
I'm like, this guy's like telling me he's D1. He's not. He never played. I'm like, what the fuck's his problem? Like, but I'm checking his stats. I'm like, like he was good in high school. He was good, but he
What
like
do you got to say about that? You gonna take that?
I was better than him in high school.
Yeah.
I was better than him in high school, but he was better than me in college.
no, honestly, at 15 he was.
Really?
He was better than me.
You think honestly?
And 16, but the
Honestly?
17, 18,
Like,
he got a
wait,
little,
wait,
got a little
Yeah,
blurry.
honest to God, like he was an earlier bloomer. I was a later bloomer. Our sophomore years of high school, he was the
His
better player.
pecs developed at like 18 and 17.
Yeah, you might have caught a couple like lazy habits or so.
I smoked a little weed.
Yeah, and whatever. Time goes on, but I thought I was just like, this guy's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, this guy's an idiot. I come into I walk into the fucking the cabin. We were, as you said, we were staying at this like campsite.
You're not a
We're all
douchebag.
staying.
You're not a douchebag.
I walk in. I was with G Sundun and Davi. And we walk in, and he comes like walking across. He's like, "Chopper, like patty chop, patty chopper." Like from quoting my video, I was like, "This is Zach
Oh
like
my
Satard."
God.
So I'm like giving him. Obviously, I give him a chance still. So I'm like dapping him up. I'm like, "What's up, man?" Blah blah blah. Like 5 to 10 minutes later, we're like sitting in the room talking. He pulls up video and literally he's like showing me like himself like naked on his phone. And I'm like,
With women.
I'm like, Zach, who is this guy? But it's also kind of hilarious.
Our first photo together, that
Was that the first day?
Yeah. Oh no, that was
first.
that was close.
That was second.
Oh yeah, you had that weird mustache.
Weird.
Yeah.
It was November.
Very strange.
Dude, that's so ballsy.
Isn't No
now that
Shave
I-
November
now that I
supposed to be
think
not
of
shave
it,
anything?
Well, it's like it's a mustache mostly.
So I remember you were like, should I keep it?
That's such
No
a. I
Shave
showed up to
November,
set because it was mid-November. I just had a stash.
Yeah.
That was.
You look like a porn.
You were playing a 17-year-old and you looked like you were 20.
I had to shave it before the walk-in scene.
We had a funny first interaction too,
Yeah.
because like when I was meeting all the guys, like when you and I first met, like we were just kind of like, oh, what's up, man? It
was very-
it was very like, even though we've been talking, it was very professional. It was very formal, and like everyone's kind of giving like handshakes and high fives. And Zach comes up to me and he's like charging me, gives me this bear hug, and I was like, all right, this is Zach, awesome.
I feel like that was a real recognized reel. But then me, Pat and I was more of a like molded in the darkness.
Yeah. You were filming a lot. Me and Zach were just hanging. We were.
Well, don't forget, we were in a bubble.
Yeah.
So, like, we were,
Very.
we weren't allowed to leave the camp. So,
Well,
I was filming. well, also, if you're breaking the rules. But,
who did that,
No
though?
one did that. We're
not
talking about-
me.
But they were
I
like
didn't.
always together, like spending like every second of the day with each other. So like everyone bonded like within a day.
It was very fun. Honestly, like as close as any team I've been on, which was
Yeah.
super cool, and
Yeah.
I'm sure John would love to hear that. Like, I know like people say it, but it was super cool. We really like bonded as a team. There was obviously funny moments at like the campsite. One obviously like super cool rehearsing, like going to just rehearse the hockey scenes, and it was a weird adjustment as like obviously I was still actively playing hockey, and then he's just like, yeah, so this is the scene, this is the play that happens. You have to just get it perfect, and it's not real. Like they're gonna let you go by. I'm like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
Like you do it. You have to perfect the play, meaning like.
But it's weird having to fake it.
Yeah, you have to make the perfect pass, but you have to go in this exact path.
Yeah.
And
but then also being, so in the movie I'm a defenseman, and I always played offense, which was awkward. But I would have to like fake the like letting them get by, which was very awkward to like have to like not play. You know what I mean? Weird, to like play, but like have to like
make it look real.
Yeah, exactly. like let them get by.
And then I feel like as much as Pat and I like also like bonded off camera, like because we were the older kids. Like me and you were both same age.
A super cool thing.
And we were known as like the captains of the team up when you weren't, because you didn't like stay with us. Like I know. Yeah, you know, like we were the captains of.
They were like of the act, like
of
the behind the
of
scenes.
The boys.
They were the captains.
But then also like on the ice when you were like filming your other scenes, they made Pat and I do all of, like the hard hockey plays. Because we were the only
You played the other team.
We were the only high-level hockey players.
All right, let's be fair. We also had Dane Reinhardt.
There was some other guys that played.
And there was Wheels. What's his name?
We did have some... TJ.
McGillivray. We always call each other by our characters' names, so I honestly forget people's real names sometimes.
Shout out those guys, but like, no, obviously Nelly like picked us two out to play... to play like the high-level two... Like, we were playing the forwards on the other team. Because we were the only people who could hit tape the tape every time. Back door.
Because you were like making out with Nelly like first day. You're like, oh, that's my dad. Christian Allison.
You know, it was always kind of awkward when you'd have to like do a scene where you had to like hit someone and like.
That was weird.
Like I had to hit Bubba and I had to like lay him out, and it was always weird because like Nelly said like just do it like full blast and do it. And, like Bubba's like the nicest guy in the world. I don't want to like nail him into the boards. It was like always
gotta.
And then I had to like elbow Hershey into the face.
Oh yeah,
you remember that? Yeah. Well, and then I wore a visor like during our practices, and like I had to hit him, and he had a cage on. And one time his cage hit me in the face, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, it was actually really cool doing that though. Just like rehearsing, having the fake but real. Like you have to perfect it, but it's also like you're faking it. It was super cool, really. And watching Nelly, Chris Nelson, like. You know, just
I
doing
wish we had got to really shoot though, because it would have been 5 seconds of footage, which would have taken an hour to shoot.
Yeah.
Which is so weird, being a hockey player, like you know, high level and whatever. You know, a high paced game, but then you're like also like letting people go through your legs, or also like people are letting you poke check them or hit them in the face, and like. It would have been cool to actually finish it, and I think we will, which will be super cool.
And obviously, like Moose, like Zach, was probably like the say like sixth best like player. On
Don't say that.
Come
on. Moose is like adamant about being the second best in the team.
No, Pat was the best player.
I was the only.
That was by far
was the best player. Whoa.
Dude, by far,
he couldn't get by me.
D1 hockey player.
He couldn't get by me.
But he claims he's number 2. I think you and a couple other guys are tied for 2.
Some guys were terrible, which was hilarious.
It was awesome.
Sorry, Davi, but like you sucked.
There was he knew too. He's like, I haven't touched skates in so long.
He almost great actor, but he almost like passed out in the first skate.
Yeah,
like we were skating and had to like get off.
We did a full practice.
Yeah, it was weird because like,
Nelly, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, before we started choreographing, our first few skates were like actual like hockey practices, and it was like going back in time, and it was really weird because I was like we were all like winded. It was crazy. It was like
I mean I was working. I was on sun.
I was a little winded. It was like we hopped up the plane and we were like, oh yep, and then like 4 days went by and we like hopped on the ice. It's like even I was like, damn, it's a little.
And it's funny because they were like yelling at us as if we were like an actual team.
Yeah,
so like Todd Geisler, Todd
the fake sellies,
or like Nelly, like one of us brought a puck on the ice, and he was like, "Who the fuck brought a puck on my ice?
Yeah.
Get the puck off the fucking ice!"
All
like,
that pissed me off. So not because it's like whatever, like that's
know.
the rule or whatever. But you know why that pissed me off? So the way we were rehearsing and how we had to film was, you go on the ice and he's like, "Listen, there's there's camera guys out here that they don't play hockey at all. If they have a puck fly near them, they're gonna shit their pants. They're gonna be scared. They're not hockey people.
Yeah.
Understandable. But at the same time, we had to hop into these rehearsal drills having not touched the puck. So any hockey player watching this knows, like, you get on the ice, you stick handle, you toe drag, you get your timing down, you shoot, you know, like, you get your shooting down. If you hop in cold, your first shot, your first stick handle is always rusty.
Yeah.
So you had to hop into these plays rusty, and I was always like, damn, like, just let me stick handle to get my
Seriously?
timing down, so then when we do
And
it,
also, when
I'll
we were
nail it.
first on the ice, the camera people weren't even there.
Yeah.
So it was like, why are you, like, I don't know.
Can I pop up my first on ice rehearsal?
Sure.
Nelly came into the cabin and he was like, "Who wants to go skate tonight?" And I was like, "I'll go."
Yeah,
I grabbed
yeah,
my bag with like 3 other guys.
like just you and a couple
It was,
few other
me,
guys.
Hollywood, and like Schilling, goalie, and then like 2 other people. I think Gabi too. And then I pulled a nasty little drag. And I opened some eyes because they were like, "Oh shit, this kid has played
It staged,
high-level
but
hockey."
yeah, it was sick.
And what?
That was cool. You toed.
It wasn't staged.
Go on.
Alright, I'm sorry.
Anyways.
If you want to ask, but
I did play the clip though. They can make
no,
their own.
it was fun. It was dope, and I will never forget that. What was it? 2.5 weeks that we shot, and then a week of QT with the boys where we really got to know each
That's
other.
where we did meet the on the bench guys. I don't know if I ever said that. I haven't.
No. Yeah.
That is where I met the on the bench boys. Like, obviously, people who follow me, they see the, like, whether it's an Instagram post or the few videos I did with them. But, like, that's how I met them. They were the assistant coaches on the
Oh,
team.
those are fucking beauties. Should we detail on like how we really got to know them?
Yeah, I guess briefly. I don't want to say too much, but, like, super cool guys. And whoever's a fan of them, super nice people. They do put on the character where they're, you know, playing the goofballs,
Yeah.
that they're stupid. They're not actually
The
stupid.
most normal,
Oh,
kind,
man.
loving
What's
human
funny is, like,
beings.
Ollie is like
Oli?
Yeah, Oli. I'm sorry.
spells it
He's totally like the most laid back guy ever, but in all his videos he's like getting his ass kicked. Exactly. Like,
No,
like
super
the
chill
two
guy.
Stooges. Like,
Yeah.
But they're actually so smart, but they look
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
they're not actually dumb. Like,
very stoic.
yeah, they're good people. We when we got to go we had to Q-team because we got, you know, the Covey. We went to Moose's. You weren't there, but
We hopped to the
Zach,
lake house.
Zach, you didn't actually get it, but Zach invited me to go to Q-team at his lake house. He's a shooter. He's a go-getter. So he's DMing me on the bench guys. He's like, "Hey, come to my lake house and Q-team with me and Patty." And they're like, "Yeah, sure. Better than the hotel."
We just rolled to my lake house on Cross Lake.
Yeah, they showed up. We spent a week together. Honestly, like, really fun really good memories. We filmed a
the
few
best.
videos, and
Spike ball.
Yeah, great memories. I remember that.
because you wasn't, yeah, we won't talk
You
too
wish
much.
you were.
I do.
That's how I met
I
them.
was jealous.
Like, really met him.
Yeah, really got to know them a lot. The camp, like the dynamic of the camp. There were some funny moments. Like, as an example, obviously, like, you're with a group of dudes. Like, you're gonna stay up late. Like, at least if you're
6 a.m.
Yeah, if you're a night hawk. Because all we were doing at the time was just, we were rehearsing. You were obviously filming.
Yeah.
We were up late. There was a couple goons in the cabin telling on us for staying up late.
Telling on Pat
Who was it? I
Schaefer
wonder who it was.
for laughing at 6 a.m.
We know who it was.
I don't know who. Fuck you. They
We
told
know.
on me,
We
and
know.
our fake fictional coach was like yelling at me. No, he wasn't yelling, but he remember.
Wait, Montague?
No.
Nelly, no.
Do you remember Nelly after one of the rehearsals called us all and we had like a circle and he was like clearly like he was like, "Guys, stop staying up late. Everyone has like different habits. You know, people are trying to get their rest. They want to be good for rehearsal."
He was trying to scare us into saying that someone was getting kicked out, which really
Yeah.
rattled us. We were
I'm
like,
sitting there like, who's this snitch here?
Who's been talking? Yeah.
Pat's getting booted.
I'm gonna give you a little bathroom beating in the camp bathrooms that has one shower.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys all shared one
Yeah, it
shower.
was sick. We were
Well, yeah, we fucking buzzed it, but
Yeah.
it was fine. We wore shoes in the shower. So.
memories.
I was kind of a diva. I was kind of a diva. I worked my way out of the
Actually,
cabin.
You know what? If you want a little visual of this cabin, it was November. It was Thanksgiving of 2020. I made a video called like, what was it called? It was like
the hockey house. Yeah.
Thanksgiving with the boys at the hockey house.
Yeah.
Go watch that. That's all us on set. I just wasn't saying it because like.
It was really impressive actually. So like Pat's obviously got this big YouTube channel and he didn't mention the movie like once in all the videos he was taking there.
Yeah, like obviously if we finished it and it was coming out, I was gonna promote it. We were still doing it, and I'm the type of guy like I never would like brag about something or talk about something that's
unless
in the process.
It was finished.
Yeah. So that was my.
And he was
thing.
right because we didn't finish it.
And hopefully we do.
Yeah.
But it's just like I'm not gonna be like posting on Instagram about it because like we're still doing it, and it's like I'm the type of like do it, then I can talk about it. So that was my whole thing. But if you do want a visual of the campsite, that's the video to go to.
It shows everything.
You could see the good bond that we had.
Oh yeah,
in the
totally,
video.
totally.
It was very fun.
And it was like we had a day off because it was Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and everyone was just having a good time. It was
Great
times.
times.
I mean, something to like roll onto is my acting ambitions.
Why?
Oh, you just want to make it about you?
Well, no, let's see where you're going. Where are you going?
I was kidding.
Where are you going, Zach?
I was joking, but do
Where are you
tell.
going,
Do
Moose?
tell.
I'll just stay quiet.
No, I was kidding. I was
Steve will do it.
I was joking. To actually tell.
So like the reason I really wanted to get into acting after hockey is my cousin Tim Sitars. He's a stunt coordinator for all the Marvel movies. He played Bullseye in Daredevil. He was actually the bear in the Revenant.
I was just going to say, that's the coolest thing.
I didn't know.
He got to beat the
Yeah.
fuck out of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep. And Leo actually gave him a shout out at his like Oscar thing.
Really?
Yeah. And so so like that was my motivation to get into acting. And that was my big motivation and the only reason I moved to LA actually with my friend Isaiah. You know, shout
He was
out
in the movie.
Shout out to Izzy.
He played Nemo.
Yep, shout out Izzy again. And he, you know, I owe a lot to Isaiah really in life because he's kind of like my, I don't know, like my will to do because like I moved to LA and I was kind of being lazy out there. I was like trying to do the acting thing, doing a little, I don't know, like side work and whatever. But then the Way of the Warriors audition email came through and he made me do it.
Really?
Yeah, he forced me.
You didn't want to do it?
I was lazy and I was just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. I probably won't get that role.
I got you.
And he goes, yeah, I just submitted. You better do it like tomorrow. And I was like, oh. So he filmed me like doing it and yeah, like it was crazy. Like
Your audition was you just doing like really basic hockey chirps too.
Well, that was part of the requirements of the audition. He said like he's put a thing that said if you want to do some chirps on the bench, go for it. And a lot of people just took advantage.
I've seen better hands on a clock.
Yeah, you said. You know what's funny though? It's like your audition is just you saying that chirp, and it showed them like enough where they like grabbed you. But it's like obviously you do have on camera ability.
Oh wait, would I be here if I didn't?
No, exactly. But I was just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna audition for Brooks. Like even if they don't give it to me,
Dude, your audition was so funny. So like,
I made a joke.
he clearly had no just very talented guy here. You've seen his videos on YouTube. Like he clearly had no idea how to film an audition.
Yeah.
And so instead of getting a reader to like do the lines with him off camera, he read both parts of the scene. So there's a scene with Brooks and his girlfriend, and he read the girlfriend's part along with his part. The funniest shit ever, but it was so funny. Then you completely like changed all the lines, which is something you're not supposed to do in a movie audition. You're supposed to like stick to the script, and you completely improv the entire thing.
and he pumped before. His arms were looking fucking.
It was so
I watched
funny.
your audition. That was funny.
It was so funny.
In my head, I was like thinking, I was putting myself in high school.
Yeah.
Because I was that guy. Like I was kind of like a hardo. I was committed. Like I was like, this is kind of me.
Yeah.
And it's like I was like, if I was in this position, I was a super awkward.
Yeah. So the scene is about like Emma and Brooks are in Brooks's garage, and they have this romantic, really nice, intimate moment where they kiss and everything.
Very serious.
And yeah, it's a very like just touching, cool, serious moment. And Pat made it into this comedic bit where he said like, yeah, this is where I bring all my girls. He goes, oh wait, no, you're the only girl. I never bring girls in here. And then he turned it into like this argument over like how like, wait, you bring other girls in here? He's like, no, just you. And it was so funny. So funny.
I just figured, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it like feel like how I would picture this happening in high school to me. And like, cause I would say something dumb or like comedic, like I'm just gonna do that, like whatever. If they like it, this is very me.
Well, that goes to show, like, if you make like bold choices, that takes you much further than actually like just sticking strictly to like.
Because everyone's reading the script. Right?
Yes. Like, so you did something to stand out. Yeah. Exactly.
Actually, I might be the only one who didn't read because you're supposed to read Brooks, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone was supposed to read the Brooks part. I just read Moose. I just read Moose because I was like, I ain't gonna play that guy. Yeah. I'm for sure not playing that guy. I'm Moose, and I just only read Moose, and I think that might have like kind of stood out to them. They're like, oh, he knows his role.
I assumed like someone else that was like more experienced at acting would like get Brooks, but I told him, I was like, might be surprised if you cast me. I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna do this. And like even before I did the read, he said like something like, yeah, I've seen like you on YouTube. Maybe like you could create your own like kind of version of a character. I was like, I'll create my own Brooks. Oh, no. I was just fucking bold because why not? Yeah, it was fun. But
it's so funny you said that Isaiah got you to audition because it was actually Dane Reinhardt's dad who got me to audition. So I had a manager at the time who had been giving me a lot of auditions, and then out of the blue, Dane Reinhardt, who's in the movie, is like one of my best friends. Yeah, not like probably my best friend. Yeah. And his dad just reached out to me and said, like, hey, there's this hockey movie. You should like audition for it. And I saw it. I was kind of like, it was probably some like stupid local thing. And I looked into it. I'm like, oh my god, this is a great script. Yeah. And that's how I did it.
Super cool.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that is how we met. Hopefully that gives you a better grasp of like who Brendan is, who Zach is, because obviously you guys have been in tons of videos now.
Yeah,
and hopefully
we just made a great one yesterday. Yeah. Enjoy.
I've been in the trench with you for
today.
Yeah, 2 years now almost.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because we really only initially met for say like 3 weeks, and we've just become absolute like best buds. So I hope to like keep having them in the videos, but for the people listening who are kind of wondering like who are these people, where I met them, a lot of the people in the videos, like at this point, I don't know when the pod's gonna drop, but like the real day in the life of a college hockey player, they're in it. The life of the shower guys, hungover at practice, these are all guys that I met at this movie.
And it's funny because like even though like we didn't end up making it and finishing it, like we made like these awesome connections.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's true.
Should we like kind of close it to like what we're doing now and what?
Yeah. Well,
like full circle of like Brendan just had a big part in a short that went pretty heavy.
You get the pig noses on.
Yeah. What's the name?
You guys haven't seen it yet. It's called Wet Seal Cigarettes. Check it out. We're gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, let's do it. Honestly,
actually watch it tonight.
And Pat played for the Maine Mariners this year. Had a hell of a season. Hopped a couple games in the AHL, which was I was super proud. Like being like one of your best friends. I saw you hop into the A, and I was like, that's one level from the show.
It is. I appreciate that.
No, seriously.
I know
it's just like full circle with, if I didn't meet Pat, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now with, Mikey Cavalieri. Shout out to Mr. Glass.
My cousin.
He's my, I'm still, doing, have multiple eggs in baskets with like acting and, I kind of hopped into more of a business mindset now and I started a software company with, Pat's cousin, Mike Cavalieri, and he's like my mentor and one of my best friends.
And Isaiah.
Oh, Izzy's the fucking man. But it's just like funny how like life kind of turns out where it's like iron on iron. And there's like a Bible quote on it where it's iron sharpens iron. So it's like I met Pat, and then he introduced me to his cousin Mike, who is a very successful businessman, and then he kind of took me under his wing and we started a company together, On-Chain Realty. It's just really cool to see how life has kind of gone along as we met. So
no, absolutely. Yeah. But it is cool. It is cool to still be like hanging and doing this with you guys. So it's like we hope to continue. Like obviously, as my channel now, if you've probably noticed, it's becoming more of that direction that like the videos we've been making, which is where I want to take it. So I hope this gave you guys a better insight and maybe even like a connection now to Zach and Brendan. Like
in the near future, we're hoping to potentially content house, maybe like a Nelk.
maybe
avenue where it's like, it's not
maybe,
like prank videos, but it's just like what we're doing.
Just being with people,
being
and
around
every
and
day.
like and doing it every day.
That's what we want to get to.
We'll just like produce content more on a weekly basis rather than
we could
have like vaulted videos.
There's definitely a lot of more output.
And then exactly, give the people what they want.
So yeah,
Are you guys feeling tipsy? I'm kind of buzzed right now.
look, I got a little one.
Are you a little buzzed?
I buzzed a bit.
It's another episode of Soda's Road, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Bitch, I'm going numb. Take a drag, I ain't feel it in my lungs. Drop down like a